welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford, and today I have the best A-team. Three of my best friends are here to talk Angel because I've bullied 2 out of the 3 of them to be here.
Hey, I'm Kiersten White, and I was bullied to be here, but I love Ian and I love Faith, so.
I'm Kimberly and Southwick. I'm not sure if I was bullied. I didn't feel bullied.
No, you were not, because you like Angel.
Okay.
And I'm Zachary, Patton, Garcia. We're here to talk Angel Season 4, Episode 13, Salvage. And I am the second one that was bullied. But you know what, Faith? I'll show up for Faith anytime, anywhere.
That was how I got Kiersten and Zach for this, because Kiersten, I knew you loved Faith.
Yes.
I mean, what was it? That was the extra chapter in your book, right?
Yes.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm so glad you remembered. Yeah, I got to write a chapter point of view from Faith's point of view for a Barnes & Noble special edition of Slayer, and it was so much fun. She was my favorite.
It made me cry. I remember reading just that short part, and it made me cry.
Well, then, okay, where was she? Where is she in your timeline? And like, where was she in that chapter?
It was a dream. So I lean very heavily on dream sequences because in my mythology, which worked with the Buffy mythology as well, because the Slayers sort of have that prophetic dream aspect, and there were so many Slayers then in that timeline because everybody who could be a Slayer was a Slayer. I basically pitched that there was this like Slayer dream plane where they could connect and talk to each other, and so
love that.
set her on the Slayer dream plane at a rave. Naturally.
Of course.
Yeah, it was so much fun to write.
You wrote her so well, Kiersten. Like, I just remember being like, oh, and this really feels like Faith. And like, I think I read it. Was it in there from when it was first released? I can't remember.
Yes, but only if you got it from Barnes & Noble.
Okay, because I think you had maybe sent me a copy. I think I didn't have it in the copy I read, and then I read it later. Because I remember reading it in the break room at Barnes & Noble and crying in the break room. So this is what everyone's been waiting for this season. It's the beginning of the Faith arc. I feel like most people look upon this arc as like one of the strongest arcs in Angel. Kim, you also actually like Angel like I do, but I am curious, I do think it's one of the best arcs. Do you?
Yes, but Faith carries it.
Well, yeah.
Is that fair? Like,
yeah.
It couldn't have been, like, she carries this episode for sure, and she carries the arc also. And there's just, like, couldn't have been anyone or anything else.
Like, of course, I would love to see Buffy, but Faith makes way more sense here.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
She makes sense in the show just in general, right? Like that's why anytime she's had 2 little arcs in this show, and she carries both of them because that is like the crux of the show is redemption and helping people, and she just works so perfectly for that. That's why like I get that Eliza doesn't want to come back to like acting, and she says she would only be on camera again in service to her work. But I think Faith is in service to her work. She really could work for that. So I don't know. Here's hope.
We talked about it in the Discord how like. Or was that me and you, Zach? Like, what if she was like a therapist? Like, Faith could be like on the same journey Eliza Dushku was on and be like, oh, now she like is a therapist for Slayers. And like, I would love that.
Be down for it.
I hope she's listening.
And like, make it be the type of therapy that Eliza Dushku is doing. Sure. Like, that could help Slayers.
I just want to say, before people get mad at us, I like Angel just fine. But I haven't watched it in a really long time. It's not one that I revisit. And I will fully admit I stopped watching at the end of this arc because I was so mad.
It's fair.
I think that is fair.
Yes.
I think I'll stop watching at the end of this arc.
No, Ian needs you.
No, I'm gonna bully you for at least one episode for season 5. The best episode of season 5 is Cordelia's
Spike
episode.
coming back would be fun. I'll do that.
I do think season 5 is like a different. It's my favorite season, but it does feel like a fully different show. I don't know, Kim. Do you agree?
Yes. The characters evolve, like too many of the characters evolve into like new versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, the end is really good, but also very different than the end of Buffy, the only other thing we have to compare it to. And I think that, it feels like they finally figured it out, and then they were like, yep, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a bummer that like it was canceled, even though the rate like I fully never do I take an executive side, but I understand why the executive was like, I hate Joss Whedon, I'm canceling his show. Like that is, I fully understand that. It just
Yeah, I mean,
the way it
especially
happened.
because it was the female characters that like wholly change.
Yeah.
You know, I feel
like Fred
that
way better in season. Like she still tends to be like a prize to be won, but I like her better.
She has much more agency.
Yeah.
Involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything in this episode.
She doesn't do a lot. Okay, so we open. Lila's dead. Our beloved Lila. Angel stumbles upon her, and I feel like this has happened a lot on the show, on these shows, where it's like the vampire's holding the person but didn't actually bite them, and then it's people get mad.
Well, at least with Angelus, he doesn't care if they think that he
right. He's not upset.
He didn't kill her, but he does bite her.
I got the feeling he wanted them to think that he killed her.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Right, because the way he was holding her,
he was just posed. He wasn't actually drinking blood.
He was mad that he was like, "What? She's already dead." And then when they came around the corner, I felt like he staged it to look like he killed her, just to piss them off.
Yeah.
I was fully happy to see David Boreanaz deliver his line where he's like, "Oh, geez, fellas, this isn't what it looks like all sarcastic." Because I just love when he gets to like be fun and funny, and that it just doesn't happen enough, or hasn't happened enough in at least the episodes I've been on. And Angel, and like he's just living it up as Angelus, and that moment in particular really stuck out to me.
I do love that Angelus's whole vibe isn't like dark, menacing evil. It's just he's an asshole. Like,
yes.
And he's having fun being an asshole.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's a fun take, honestly. Yeah.
They tell everyone that Lila's dead. We get the credits, and I have to mention this just because, like, I feel like all of us Buffy fans, it's like you always looked at the like who were the guest stars. And even like I know this is a Faith episode, but even seeing like and Eliza Dushku as Faith, I was like,
so beautiful, wonderful. You know, should have had her own show.
What we could have had.
What we could have.
Fred is freaking out, saying they need to board up the windows. Lauren suggests the anti-violence demon spell. He uses the Caritas. And this is why some of the parallels, like the like metaphor of what magic is, don't always, because Connor's like, it never works. And I hate Connor. I don't want to say Connor's right, but he's kind of right.
Agree.
Kill him.
Agree.
Kill Angel.
Yes. Also, Connor talking about how magic never works. Isn't magic literally how Connor exists?
That's also true.
I guess, like, I mean, if it depends on your definition of magic, I guess.
Well, they use magic to bring Darla back, and then,
okay.
Like,
doesn't he kind of hate being alive, though? So I think that
maybe, yeah. Never
like,
works how you want to. Case in point.
Very fair. All right, fair. Because like I'm thinking of even like the last time when Darla gives birth to him, and like the way they get around the violent spells, he just throws a jug filled with like gasoline on fire into the bar and it blows up instead of like doing the violence. Connor like mentions they've got to destroy Lila's body. And Wes, they're like in the hallway, and there's an axe on the wall that Wes just like, I got it, and like pulls off the wall.
It's Angel headquarters, like that makes sense. There's just weapons everywhere, I guess.
Yes. I wish Lila had grabbed it to fight Cordelia.
Was this episode before or after Conversations with Dead People? Because this is Wesley's Conversations with Dead People.
I think it's
moment,
after,
right?
Because I do remember. I don't know if you remember, Kiersten, when this aired, people did think. When Wes is talking to Lila, people were like,
that was the first.
Yeah, like could that be the first?
That's a first trick.
And he's like connected. I mean, not that he's that important to Buffy, but he is connected to her.
Connected, yeah.
I think
it
that
would make sense that the
cool.
first is like trying to get into them a little. I wish they would have sprinkled that a little bit more, because as a just in case Angel and Co show up to Sunnydale to help out Buffy, that the first would be already, plotting and scheming on that end.
Yes. And I also have more to add to that in a minute, but Angelus goes to the bar. We see he's recruiting people. I like that he like murders or maims anyone who is like complimenting him.
Yeah.
And even the demon he stabs feels very Clem-like, right?
Yes.
Because it's just like, got a lot of skin.
David's like acting is weird here, though. It's like it does feel like he was struggling to get into Angelus fully, because that's why I thought maybe because it's again been so long for me since I've seen these as well, so I didn't know if this was really Angelus or if he was faking this and like just trying to get some information. Because he seems very angel-like in this scene, kinda, you know.
He doesn't have his vamp face on. I feel like he's playing to his audience. Maybe he's like double acting too much.
I think also
go ahead, Ian.
He tends to, if it's his food, then he's gonna play and have fun. But if it's like these demons aren't food, so they're just like a nuisance.
That makes sense. I think the makeup for like especially season 2 Angelus, it really helps to differentiate like the pale.
It was
lip.
different.
Like I wish they would have done that.
You are right. That it does, like, I feel like we could tell in season 2, like, yeah, that's Angelus because he's got the pale lips.
Well, he does, like, I mentioned this already, but I'm going to say it again. He doesn't use his vamp face very often. And, like, all the other vampires, I guess because of the permanent midnight, they're just, like, going wild. And they're just, like, are always in vamp face, and he's walking around not in it, which I thought was just a little strange. And then I stopped noticing it, but I noticed it at first.
So we go back to the hotel. Wesley is having a conversation with Lila. We'll just wrap up the whole conversation here. I do like it. I wasn't sold on this, honestly, when I first watched it, but I Kiersten, speak on it, because I do like it now as an adult. I appreciate it more.
Yeah. I mean, zero context. I remember nothing about their relationship, really. Again, like 15 years. But I just think, like, you really get the sense that he is torn, and this is his internal monologue. I felt like it was really well done. I also like that, like, at one point he does say or she says, I'm only saying this because this is what you're thinking. And I like when she calls him like devilishly handsome. It's basically him calling himself devilishly handsome. It's true. Very good looking man, which I will never get over the evolution of Wesley from Buffy intro to this.
Not attractive in that intro, but attractive here, yes.
Which Faith points out. Well, we'll get to that, but she does point it out, and I'm like, you're right.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought it was great. I thought that the tension and the regret that he feels both for the relationship and the fact that there will never be a resolution to it. It was messy, and I liked that.
Yeah,
I think though, I thought it was like heavily implying that he was going to figure something out. Like when he looks at Lila's body get in the hallway and Cordy like interrupts his thoughts. I thought he had figured out that it wasn't a vampire bite that killed her. So I was a little bit disappointed that
I thought they were setting that up too, right? Yeah, because they were like they were going really heavy with I have to dismember you, or I have to stake you in the heart, or I have to do this. And I thought that was going to come full circle, and they were going to be like, actually, this doesn't make sense. But they didn't really get there.
They didn't. So.
I liked how at first you couldn't tell whether or not he was actually talking to her. And then they quickly made it clear when you got to see the dead body and then her. And then it wasn't clear either if this was like a ghost or if it was just in his imagination until like Kiersten said that, like she says it's in his brain. I thought that those like little subtle revelations, like as we kept going back to their scene together, were well done.
And she is like extra, which makes sense because it's his conscience, but she is like extra Lila in this scene where she's like vamping. She's like, everything she says is flirty or like kind of like you said, she calls him devilishly handsome. Like I appreciate that for like, if we're going in his brain, of course she would be like almost like a cartoony version of herself, right?
She also looks hot.
She does.
She does.
Always.
She does.
Yeah, I feel like if we looked at like the first season, Lila, just the way she's dressed, like wouldn't have been like as flattering as she is dressed in the scene. So I like that she gets to go out looking great.
And I like that, like when she first sits up, it's the Lila that's on the table, and then her outfit changes.
Yes.
It did trip me up for a second. I thought I hadn't been paying attention.
That hair, I feel like Kiersten and Kim, y'all might be. That hair, was that in style? It's so ridiculous, but I think it works on her. But I don't think that was even in style back then, right?
Isn't it? It's kind of like Jennifer Aniston-y.
It looks just so big.
Yeah,
I thought it was gorgeous. What do you mean it was too much?
80s when the way they first dress her. But I mean, I don't know. I thought it looked good. I like big hair. Though.
I mean, she has good hair. Yeah, she like. I really appreciate that we're like focusing on his guilt. Like he couldn't save her. Clearly, like you said, Kiersten, it's messy. It's like. And I think that's why, as an adult, the same reason I appreciate Darla more as an adult, because there's like a little bit more nuance there to like, yeah, she was evil, but also like she did care about him.
Yeah.
And I always really like when we're blurring the line with those type of people. The same way Darla did seem to care for Angel as much as she could care for someone. And how, like, with Darla, I love when the master goes to her and she's dying. And she is just like, are you going to kill me or what? Like, this woman is dying. She's had a terrible life. Of course, she's not that pressed that, like, this weird, gross demon is there because she's dying anyway. So, like, I really like that shit. I definitely didn't appreciate it as much when I was younger and watched.
Sadly, if there is an interesting female character in the Whedonverse, they die.
Unless they're Buffy or Willow.
He tried to kill Buffy twice.
True. I guess technically she does die. She just doesn't stick.
He kept putting her through it.
But, like, especially on this show, all the women.
Yeah.
The show ends with none of the women surviving.
Yeah.
You're correct. What?
And he destroys them before they die.
Yes.
He takes away their self and their agency and their souls, essentially, and then he kills them.
And, like, there are a lot of cruel deaths, but Fred's feels it's like an episode of her dying, and then she dies. Like, that feels like especially cruel.
I would have appreciated that a little bit better had there been maybe another season where you get to see that continue.
Yes.
But it did just feel, I don't know.
I do remember him saying in an interview that was the plan. The next season, it was going to be.
But then was Illyria going to die too? Was she just out of the show no matter what season?
I do like Illyria, which is a credit to Amy Acker's acting. I do like Illyria, but I would have preferred it if Fred did not have to die for her to come about. Anyway, talking about this episode in season 4, Lorne is on the phone. I love when Lorne has to do a spell because he, like, kind of knows what he's doing. It's kind of like when Anya has to do a spell where, like, she knows this shit, but, like, that's not her specialty. So I like, you know, he's like, oh, we don't have that. Well, we got this. We got the spices. And he's like, what can I fill in?
Okay.
Yeah. I do like when Connor is like, no, well, I have to kill Angelus. And Lorne is like, now you listen to him? Like, that's the thing you're listening to? Wes says they need a champion. And then immediately is like, I gotta go somewhere. I know where I can find one. And I want to talk about...
I really liked how him and Lila, like, say the word redemption. Especially because Zach was like, that's the theme of the whole show. Because I was like, this is the theme of the whole episode. And then earlier Zach's like, that's the theme of the whole show. I'm like, oh, we're saying the thing out loud. But also, I thought that, like, the trail off or the go to commercial or whatever meant that he did tell them the plan. He just, like, leaves and doesn't tell them he's bringing Faith back. Like, that seems unrealistic, but I digress. Like, bye guys, I'm gonna go get the thing that's gonna save us. Like, wouldn't they be all like, can you tell us?
Also,
please?
a really big thing. Yes, this is not like a small sort of like get her out of jail.
And I guess it makes sense because they would have been like, Gunn would have been like, I'm going with you. You know, it would have been like that. So in the end, I'm like, okay, fine. It does make sense. He didn't tell them, like, for the plot, but not for actual.
Well, so if we're keeping track, which I'm not, but I know I read about it. All of the events only take place, like, the good chunk of the season is like 2 days or like 3 days.
It's a fast timeline, yeah.
So, like, Wes still is kind of, at this point, he's back in the group, but it's only been like 3 days that he's been back part of the group. So he still like sees himself as a little bit more separate, I think. Okay. But you are correct. That would have made more sense to tell them, but that's the only, like, a little bit logical reason I can have is like, he wasn't quite feeling like a full-on team member.
Just would like to see that conversation is what I'm saying. If he isn't going to tell them, like, it shouldn't be a surprise to us that it's a surprise to them. That's all.
Yes. I want to talk about Faith's entrance because I love it.
Amazing.
Zach, speak on it.
I love it. This should have been a spin-off show, right? A whole season of Faith in prison. I would have lapped it up.
Ours is the new Black, but with a vampire slayer.
It's just so powerful, right? Like, her presence on screen is powerful, and it speaks a lot. You see her show up, you have this familiarity, and there's just this rush of, like, mixed flurrying feelings with her when you see her too, right? Because you know her history, but you love her, and you love that she's trying, and that she is willingly sitting her ass in this prison, because we know somebody comes up to kick her ass, she is holding back, right? Like, she could have had that woman over the fence in
and
a lot quicker time than that.
I like the idea, and it makes sense for whatever dynamics we're going for, that the guard was even like
Yeah.
And was like, I don't think anyone would try to fuck with you.
Like, that's not the one we have to put in. We leave her in Gen Pop because we know she can handle herself.
Yeah.
Do we ever find out what happens? Why the woman attacked her with that like very
It's like a
magic-looking
bringer
knife?
knife, right?
It's one of the, it's the knives the bringers in season 7 were using to kill all the Slayers.
Okay, all right, got it.
Oh, okay. So that's the link to season 7.
It's all the way back
really
around. Yes.
Because I thought it was Cordelia, but I was like, why would Cordelia plan that far ahead? Like, she really thought that somebody might go get Faith, because that's a stretch. But okay,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
But the hilarious thing is, I'm like, who paid her? Like, was one of the bringers with like no face, like handing this lady some cash and a
It
knife?
came to
and, like-
visitation through the glass, had the little phone.
Because like the
Yeah,
first
that's
can't
right.
touch thing, so it couldn't have appeared to this woman and given her the knife.
Yeah.
I'm like, who whispered down the lane to get that woman money? And
She
that
got
knife?
herself locked up, so she figured it out on the outside. She knew the plan, and she got herself
And
locked
then-
up to go inside. That's
All right.
it's written. It's there.
I don't know. I feel like Deb feels like someone who Faith knew before, and now she's become a totally different person. Like she's like, "What are you doing, Deb? Like you know not to fight."
Not Deb. Deb with the pudding. They used to share pudding in the cafeteria.
But Faith would be, if we're going Orange is the New Black, she would be the one that like people know not to fuck with. Like she just would,
Yes.
right?
I
Like
mean, when she picked up the weights, like she was holding back until that because I don't know how she just had a busted up nose from that smash.
we've
Dedicated.
all, especially me and Zach and Kiersten, have watched plenty of horror movies that would have gone through that lady's face. I did think that because I was like, well, she's a little bloody, but she would have been a lot bloodier.
Is it like my familiarity bias, or is she like exceptionally attractive?
Oh, I full on wrote.
Deb?
She's like so hot.
I'm glad that the prison lets her have blowouts and makeup.
Makeup. I noticed it. I saw it.
But it makes sense to me, because if Faith is in your prison, you'd be like, you know what? Yes, you can have a hairstylist and you can have makeup, because it's a service to the entire population for you to look skinny.
You're so hot and so tough. You know what? Go ahead.
Let us know
deserve
what
some
your
pretty
list
things
is.
here,
We'll
too.
go to Ulta for you.
And then I'm going to jump ahead a little, but we can go back if you want to, Ian. When they're in the car, is she like in the back getting changed into an outfit that Wes brought for her that isn't prison clothes? Because she's wearing like a jean jacket and like a cute
I think
purple
so. Yeah.
shirt.
Has
like,
to be right.
And I was like,
he
why
knows
are
her
you in the
style, and
back seat?
that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, but going back to the visitation with Wes, like, I love that she acknowledges that he's hot, but I also love, and it's so Faith, and I love it so much, where he's like, we need you to come because it's Angel. And I didn't remember this episode very well, so I thought it was going to be a prison break episode where they had to like figure out how to get her out of prison. No, she's like, all right, back up.
Yeah.
I didn't remember her jumping through the glass either.
Yeah.
It was very fast.
So
Happened
good.
very quickly,
Yes.
and
And it's just so Faith, right? Like,
Yeah.
we need to do the thing. Let's just do it.
She doesn't want to sit and talk about it.
no.
No.
Yeah.
We'll talk when I get out. And
Yeah.
that shows her power, right? Like she could have done that at any moment, and she knew she could have.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's nice seeing, because like, season 7, we got, I guess, a little bit, but it's nice seeing a Slayer fight with the weirdly like better budget they had on Angel. Like, it's like cool to immediately see like her jumping through and then fighting the cops and then just grabbing him and jumping up. Like, I don't know. There's like a Buffy, it would have been not as cinematic.
There's a lot of shaky cam with Buffy,
Yeah.
like 3 cuts per jump just to hide it. And like
And a wig.
Faith, when she's outside in the yard, does a full like backflip and we don't cut away from it,
Yeah.
They've got the budget for it.
I liked the jump out the window, and I do like them landing on the car, but the West stunt double is like so obvious. He has like nothing wrong with it, but he has like a more receding hairline, and it's like, that is not Wesley. But I do love when she asks him if he's okay, and he says 5 by 5. I'm just like very tickled by the reference.
And it also is so heavy when he shows up too. It feels heavy because we know that she literally tortured him, Not to say
last
that
time
lightly.
they saw each other,
Yes.
What is it? Like, he even says he like lost feeling in his leg, I think, like after she tortured him, and like he's like limping a little bit for a few episodes.
Yeah, I have no jokes for that because
Yeah.
that's dark.
Sorry, Kiersten, what were you gonna say? I'm cutting you off.
Oh, I was gonna say we skipped because we were so excited to talk about Faith, because
We jumped into all our scenes at once.
we missed the Angelus and the Beast scene.
Right.
My biggest note is, why is everything so dark? I get that the sun is blowing down. This entire episode, this entire show is so dark. The hotel is so dark. Everyone is not well lit. Like, you cast such attractive people. Show us their faces.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And I'm watching this during the day. I couldn't see shit.
Yeah, you can't see anything. So you have Angelus and the Beast. He says, I don't like being kept in the dark, figuratively. And then that's where you get the Cordy reveal, where Cordy is the one pulling the strings. But all I can think about is her walking around the Beast and being so much shorter than him. And then when they're kissing, she's not like this. And he's not an half, which I am 13 inches shorter than my spouse. Let me tell you, it's not convenient to kiss. It's just not.
They had an apple box. They brought it out for it.
I look tall in my selfie with Kiersten.
As an extremely short person, that was not an accurate kiss.
I can't believe it was disgusting that they made out. Not that I'm against like people making out with beasts, but they just made it. They filmed it to look gross.
It's like a weird sort of like shoved in thing. Yeah. It didn't like really make sense.
And it never pays off because he dies this episode.
No. And you're like, is he only working for her because he's in love with her? Like, is that
they didn't make that clear, and they don't make it clear enough that she would be the kind of villain who is doing that to sort of like lure,
so we don't
beasts
know what kind of villain she is. Yeah.
And it's also so silly because is she just standing like off to the side while Angel has this whole moment? Is she just like, she comes out, she looks dumb when she comes walking out. Like, how dare they do this to Charisma Carpenter?
And also like, not to be like whatever, but like Angelus is a like skilled murderer. He would notice her standing pregnant right off to the side. Like, they can smell people, right? Isn't that like a vampire's thing?
It's a thing.
So yeah. And also the give mama some sugar. Oof. Oof.
Yeah. Also, was there a reason he made a knife out of himself, or was that just convenient to this episode?
Do we get a reason for that?
Like, was that in a previous episode he was making that knife? Was it for something? Okay.
So the only context we had is in the previous episode, as we're building up to the Cordelia reveal, we see that there's just a scene of him holding the knife in his hands and bowing and saying, I made this for you, master. That is it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Angelus winds up with it?
Because the beast has it just sitting.
It just has it.
Yeah.
On display.
Cool. We're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Move on.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. The plot. Yes.
Yeah. So in the car, Wes is kind of like, well, are you sure you're up to it? And she's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, I do like, and even her delivery when she's like, can I ask one question? What the hell are you people doing? Like, I did.
Yes. Because it puts into context. I mean, because as crazy as the Buffy mythology was, the angel mythology is like next level nonsense, insane. Like the powers that be, and like, are they angels? Are they demons? Whatever. Don't worry about it. Like so the Buffy magic system and the Buffy mythology makes so much sense and is so self-contained compared to Angel. Yeah. Which is saying a lot because the Buffy magic system and mythology makes no sense. Again, I love it, but it doesn't make sense.
Someone who has written the Buffy
you wrote it. You wrote it. You get it.
And let me
I sit on my couch, a little brain dead. I don't think about it all too much.
Yeah. Well, that's specifically why I chose, because they were pretty open on what timeline I could do, and that's why I chose after the first season of comics, because after the first season of comics, they destroyed magic. So magic was off the table. And that's why I said it then, because the Buffy magic system has no rules and makes no sense, which works for a TV show, right? It does what it needs to do for each specific episode, which they address in Angel. But if you are writing a book and it has to be self-contained and it has to have internal logic and make sense, there was nothing I could do with it. Yeah. So I said it specifically where I didn't have to deal.
That's a great reset point too. So
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But anyway.
So she does kill these vampires. I do like that we at least see that one vampire who's like the vampire slayer and just runs.
I love that the news of the Slayer is spreading throughout the city. I like seeing like the visual representation of that.
Because also that makes sense. Like, they're like strong demons, but it does make sense if they knew she was a vampire slayer. They'd be like, I'm not going to bother because I will die.
Yeah. I liked her line after she does kill all of them, and that she's not like mad at Wes for setting her up in that way. I like when she says it's like riding a biker, because I thought at first she said it's like riding a bike, and I was like, how many cliched phrases are we gonna get? Give me some sugar in this episode. But then it's like riding a biker.
Not our girl Faith. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to talk about that, Kim. I really liked specifically that she is not mad at him. She's like, yeah I get it. All right.
Yep.
And that makes sense for Faith and the way she operates, because she might do the same thing, right? Like, if she's recruiting someone to help her fight, she would also be like, here, let me drop you in and see if you can still do it.
Yeah. I mean, she full on beats up Connor later in the episode.
Yeah.
And it's very like this new Wesley that we got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like,
old Wesley would have never done that. Yeah.
No, never.
I also like that they make it really clear when she says, Angel's the only person who never gave up on me.
Yes.
That's Faith's whole thing, right? Like, nobody stuck by her. Nobody believed in her. The only person who ever did was the mayor. And that didn't turn out well. And so her loyalty to Angel, and again, it's why it's so much better that they used Faith than Buffy, because her loyalty to Angel is rooted in something so real and like so pure, right?
Yeah.
Like, she values him and she doesn't care what he's done in the meantime, because he valued her and he didn't care what she'd done in the meantime. Whereas with Wes, it would have been so tortured, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Wes recognizes that, right? Yeah. Like he knew it even before he sprung her out of prison. He's like, that's why it had to be you.
Yeah.
It's redemption, man. That's the whole show. Ugh.
Yeah.
Hey.
And so they go back to the hotel. This is like the things that like bum me out the most about this arc, is that it could never be. I would like to see actual Cordelia encountering Faith. I would like to see actual Cordelia reunited with Willow. Like, I really, it bums me out that it's not really her interacting with them. Because like IRL Cordy, who's not possessed by Jasmine, also probably would be annoyed at Faith being back, right? Like,
Faith is getting the most annoyed sort of like intros to all of these characters, because she hops over to Buffy too and gets she doesn't get, Buffy gets kicked in the shin later, but like, you know, in my mind, Dawn kicks Faith in the shin as well.
Cordy's line is good though, when she's like, and now you brought Psycho Slayer out of retirement. Like, it's a good line.
Yeah.
But why is Cordy just like, this must have been like such a jarring sort of like, because we're pretty sold that this wasn't the plan. This is like, this was thrown on her.
As much as they
it
say
does
it
seem
was,
like she's really jarred by this new change of like plot, because why is Charisma Carpenter basically like in every scene just walking around like sneaky, she's trying to be sneaky, but she doesn't know what she's supposed to be sneaky about, and like nobody told her the plan, and that reads very much on her face. Where, especially in this interaction with Faith, she doesn't know if she's supposed to be Cordelia or Jasmine. So she's trying to be quippy, but she's also trying to be like,
not as quippy.
You know?
Did they make her pregnant this season because she was pregnant IRL?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They always say that like that they rewrote it because of that. But like a lot of the writers have said that's the only thing they changed, but I don't buy that, because it very much, Charisma Carpenter is very good as Cordelia Chase.
Yeah.
And she is not that good here, and I don't think it's her fault. I think it's she's playing Cordelia, but not playing Cordelia. So like, how do you do that if you don't even know?
And she's also like pregnant, but doesn't want anyone to know she's pregnant. Like, and like as Cordelia doesn't want to know, or Jasmine or whoever the hell she is, doesn't want anyone to know she's pregnant. So there's a lot of like weird layers of deception that probably make it hard, because she's got to be herself, like Zach was kind of saying, but also she's just pretending to be. It's that 2 layers of acting thing again. That's like doubled by the fact that she has to hide that she's pregnant from everyone else on the, the characters.
Kiersten, if you had to write this in one of your books, how would you streamline this plot?
Well, I don't know the plot well enough, right? Because I'm not that familiar with it. But it does feel like it's messy, and it feels like they want to portray her as this brilliant puppet master, right? Like setting all these things into motion, but then, spoiler for the end of the episode, when Angelus just straight up kills the beast, then it, like, what was the point of bringing Angelus out?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't accomplish anything, and it actually sets back what she was setting in motion. Or does it? I don't know. Did that actually need to happen? Because she's already pregnant. Like, Jasmine's already on her way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just feels a little bit like a lot of this is just kind of spinning the wheels. Which again, it's a 22 episode season. So you do have to have that filler, right? You do have to have that that bad guy before the bad guy, right? So you have to have the beast before you can have whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like I'm not familiar enough with it to say it does feel messy, but you know, whatever.
Do you want me to read you the summary of season 4 on the internet? It's not going to make any more sense.
And that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't work as well either, because like Jasmine is not, I don't know, maybe by the end of the season y'all have the better, more informed opinion, but I feel like the Beast was brought up as such a baddie that to go out that way
Jasmine doesn't match.
Lame.
Jasmine's brand of evil does not match the brand of evil that is bringing her about.
Yeah.
So it doesn't ever feel actually connect, even though, sure, it is. The plot tells us it is, but like those two things don't go together. Like,
and so if Jasmine is a baby in a womb,
yes,
is the baby like
Zach,
pulling strings on Cordelia, or is the baby like? Is the baby also Cordelia?
The baby is the powers that be. One of the powers that be.
One of them.
So it's not really a baby.
At least in Charmed, the powers that be were always a nuisance. They were consistently a pain in the ass. Yeah. The powers that be here come and go as they please.
Yeah. Yes. They're very...
Okay. I figured it out. Here's how you do it. You have... The chaos is the point, right? She messes up as much as she possibly can in as many ways as she can. So then when Jasmine comes about, she feels like such a change and she feels so hopeful. And the world is in such chaos and such violence and such a mess that it's then not just her blood, or not her, but like her influence affecting people. It's that she really is a better alternative, right?
Yeah.
It's like you create the problem so that you can position yourself as the solution.
Oh,
I do love that. I love that. There's a movie called The First Omen where they do that. Their entire like purpose is to bring about the Antichrist so that people will go back to church. And
sounds like
I think it always works.
Government.
Yes, I was just about to say.
Also, yes.
Much better in a book, though.
Yes, much more fun. Every time we see Faith put Connor in his place, I feel very good about it.
I like that Connor's into it. Connor's like, oh, you're kind of mean to me. That's the only time Connor makes sense. I'm like, yes, correct.
Kiersten, I was just about to say, it's like the only time I get him. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
I just think Faith could have killed one more person and then redeemed herself. She'd have been fine after the one.
And you mean Connor specifically?
Yes, the last
just making sure we're on the same page.
My other note about Connor is he makes Dawn look so much better in comparison.
Anytime
production of a teenager, you see Connor and you're like, you know what? Dawn was pretty great.
Dawn was great.
Yeah, like Connor sucks and is so one note. Dawn can be sometimes is written one note, but Connor is like only just like, I want to kill Angel. That is like every beat with him, it leads back to I'm fucking my mommy and I want to kill my dad. Like that is like all of it.
What? Don't say it like that.
And it's like so annoying.
Damn it.
It feels like I think a lot about the writers because like they had this actor and they're just like, yeah, you're gonna have the same lines, doesn't matter. Like every episode you will say basically this.
I'm so glad he got Mad Men after this. It was really redemptive for his own self.
He was great in Mad Men, I also hated his character in Mad Men.
I did.
Yeah,
yes.
And I actually hated him more as Connor because I hate his character in Mad Men so much. Yeah.
No.
But in Mad Men, there's like
that before.
A character, right? It's not
absolutely.
Yes.
A complicated character even that as much as I hate him, I kind of feel bad for him, which I do not with Connor.
Connor is an incel, and he
You're
reads
supposed to feel bad
as
for
an
Connor,
incel.
though, right?
I don't.
We're
supposed
to be like,
I'm
poor
sure
Connor,
Josh wrote it like that.
He was raised in a hell dimension by someone who
we all have
convinced him
struggles.
His dad was an
raised
evil
in Utah,
guy,
and I came out okay.
Do you like The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
But am I wrong? Are we do we hate him, but we're supposed to like him? I feel like we're supposed to like him, and that's why this season is this season.
I can remember watching this live, waiting for him to get like thinking, well, we're gonna build up to like a moment with him where he gets like turned around or his character gets redemption, but that never happens until like the one-off episode of him in season 5. That's the only time it's like, oh, I like this version. It's a character rewrite, but I like it. That would have worked better for me if he was able to like come in and out sometimes and it was like,
I mean, but like what other kind of son would Angel have? Whiny ass Angel would have a whiny ass son.
How old is he supposed to be? Like 16?
Is he?
In this case, it's statutory. Jeez.
so they make a Cordelia. He is 16 like the previous
I do remember
season.
talking about this.
But but
okay,
Cordelia, there's a line where Cordelia says, make it past 21 because he says he's like 18 or 19. The age doesn't make sense, but they definitely do that so it's
to make it closer to her.
Yeah.
Which is like whatever. Magic mystics.
Because yes,
psychics, gargoyles.
If we're aging him up, then like they are very close to the same age at this point. Still weird,
true.
but
Yeah.
Because he reads as just like exceptionally whiny teenage boy who didn't have music to make him feel better.
No, he's an exceptionally whiny 21-year-old, apparently.
Probably don't have it in Hell Dimension. So we see the blonde woman running from vampires. She encounters Angelus. He pretends to save her. As he's going to bite her, he hears them talking about the Slayer. And I genuinely
love this.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. Yeah. It's fun.
I think this is such a good, like, clever way of like how he finds out, because he's just like
easy in a scene. It didn't take a lot for them to film this, and it was funny. In my brain,
I remembered hearing Michelle Trachtenberg's voice on the phone, but you don't.
Because sometimes they do cut to Sunnydale, and they just didn't. They noticeably didn't this scene,
I just thought
it's also so funny, because imagine being Dawn on the other and like, hey, Dawn, it's Angel, it's your sister. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. That's weird.
As she's sitting in her trashed living room, have just seen her mother. That was probably the moment.
She's just like, I got a lot going on. I can't deal with this part.
Beat her all cut up. Didn't even get her anchovy pizza.
I'm not going to tell Buffy her like sometimes evil ex-boyfriend called and asked for her.
She can figure it out herself.
She's got a lot of problems. Yeah, I think that's so clever. And he's just like, oh, it's the other one. Because, and I forgot until he says it, when like they've never actually met. She's never met him.
Yeah, no.
And I kind of like the idea that like, oh, this is their first meeting. And like, but they're both, of course, aware of each other. And I don't know, there's something like fun about that, especially knowing their dynamic, like her and Angel's dynamic. So Faith breaks them up into teams. I don't understand where Gunn and Connor go. I thought they were all in the same spot.
Well, she tells Connor he has to leave because he can't control himself, because he immediately decapitates a vampire, and she's like, "We wanted that to be Angel," but it's such a great, awful line where he says, how come you're always girls talking about Slayers? And she said, we're just better at it. And then he says, you haven't seen what I could do. It's like,
oh my God.
And my entire note was just yuck, underlined a whole bunch of times.
Disgusting.
And
but then Faith sends them away because she can't trust them. So
and I like how, she shouldn't be saying things like, are you a murderer? Because I am. But he's still like, he's a kid to me. And like, she's really treating him like a kid in that moment. So, I thought that was a good, like, I'm going to use my mommy voice.
Yes.
But like, to say that I'm a murderer.
She is tougher than him, right? Like, she just is.
Of course. But she doesn't even need to use that.
Which I kind of like. I kind of like that he, like you said, Kiersten, he's like kind of into it. And he like does know like, oh, this hot lady could kill me. I kind of like it.
Yeah. Like he's like all into her when they're like back at the hotel. Well, especially when the beast is dead. And I guess he thinks that they all think that she did it. Yeah, and then it's like not even kind of into her anymore. Then he's like totally into her, and like she literally just sent him away and told him that she was a murderer, and now he's got like hard eyes for her.
He's a fucking weirdo, man. He's a weirdo, and he should be on a registry somewhere.
I do love the big sign that says "Welcome, Faith." Yeah. I do love that.
Yeah. It's a good statue too. I'm always reminded that like she's got her own moment with it.
It's right above my head, right here. That's the Welcome, Faith.
There we go.
Oh, I love it.
And also, I love that again. It's so Faith. There's zero hesitation, right? She's just going. Yeah. No, not stopping to plan, not stopping anything. She's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go fight him. You stay down here, Wes.
She's got a lot of built-up Slayer energy. She knows she can do a little rumbling.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't like that he was hiding from her and like was like warmer, but I do like how they just get to, before they kind of like interact with each other physically, they get to like kind of banter, and there's that like just heightened sexuality to their talk that like shouldn't work in 2025 but absolutely does, because she's meeting him like bar to bar.
I was gonna talk about that because I was like, should this bother me? But I think it would bother me if she did get upset about it. Like if if it was jarring to her, but she literally, it does not affect her.
And she's been hypersexual. Like she told, the first thing she says to Wes is like how he's hot now.
Right.
Like, she's like, she's just like the thing about the biker. Like she's been that way subtly, but still, obviously, I guess those are the opposite words. But anyway, she's been that way the whole episode. And she's had beats of that the whole episode. So like when she's like, come out and give me a kiss, it's like, okay, like it's okay because they're both doing it.
That's okay.
And it's a nice dynamic too, because she isn't upset by it. So it does build that pre-fight banter, basically.
Yeah.
Because if it was upsetting to her, it would be different, right?
Yeah, because then she'd be reactionary, don't treat me like that, reactionary. But instead she's just like, oh, we're just playing.
Because I will call back to like 2 episodes prior, he tells Fred he will rape her to death. And it's like,
Jesus.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
In those words?
Yeah,
That's
he literally
crazy.
says, I will rape you to death. And it's like, ugh. And again, because it's Fred, it's like, this is not.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't think that would be okay with anyone, even if he said that to Faith. Like,
Why doesn't he just draw people? Well, didn't he used to draw people? That was creepy. He could go back to doing that.
But like, I mean, like in the realm of like taunting and like a violent whatever. Yeah, I'm glad you all agree, because I was like, this kind of works, but I don't know if it should. I like if I should think it doesn't. But it really is just because she's not pressed about it. She's not
threatened.
Yes.
Like we know, in a Faith versus Angel fight, we think Faith will win.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like adding the beast makes it worse. But yeah, if it was just them, it's like,
I think Faith would win. Yeah. And I even like when he's like, what does he say? Like, oh, I thought you'd like your threesome. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then she punches him in the face. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
And I do like that in the whole fight scene with the beast, with Faith desperately fighting the beast and losing, all Angel is doing is running commentary, right? Like
lots of sex jokes.
Yes.
He's a complete asshole. Yeah.
Yes.
But he also hates the beast. So he's like, well, whichever one of you dies is great, because then I'll just kill the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is like, this is the first time we see Faith. I mean, in Dirty Girls, I guess when she comes back, we do see like, I think Caleb like throws her through some like boxes, but like the beast, this is why I wish he had stuck around more, because I do think when you see him like this, he is imposing, and the like makeup and the outfit is like well done, especially for an Angel or Buffy monster-y character. And it's cool when he like just like fucking like
and
Dragon
the
Ball Z
context around
her.
him, like bringing about just an endless night. That's creepy. That's dark shit, right? It is. This is such a lame way to go out for a character that you built up.
Are you sure you just didn't want to see him make out with Cordy some more?
I would have loved
really
it.
what
You know,
I wanted more kissing scenes. It felt like we really missed out.
I could handle it.
Their sexual dynamic. No, but it was weird, and because Buffy would have those scenes, right, where she goes up against the big bad and gets beat up and figures out a clever way to get out of it, and then figures out how to kill the thing, right? And so that's kind of what I was expecting, because again, I completely forgot every detail of this. So then when he's standing over her and she's not going to get away, and all he's just criticizing her, right? Saying, there's no real power here. I was a little bit like, what's going to happen here? And then, the Chekhov's knife made out of his own body material reappears.
Because also, like, even like in Angela's terms, I was like, shouldn't he have waited till like let the beast kill her first and then killed him?
No, he wanted to. I understand he wanted to kill her. Like, I get that.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
I believed him when he was like, I just wanted him to weaken you.
Yeah,
I guess that's true, because like, even though we are like, Faith would win if she's like that badly beaten,
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And he knows
all right.
that.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
But he didn't factor that the sun would be back.
No.
I love that annoys him. I love that he's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Like he did not think that one through, which is funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like,
oh, that was the actual plan. I can't believe it worked. Darn it.
Yeah.
Wait, so then when she was in jail, did she ever notice that the sun never came up?
Just over LA.
No, just over
Only
LA.
didn't
Was she
count
not
that.
in LA? Did they
No,
say
she was,
where that prison
She
was?
was far enough away that there was.
Okay.
They did actually on the screen. They said something California.
Okay.
and she says like, oh yeah, I heard over in LA.
Yeah.
Well,
The like mechanics of all this again make no sense because how do you?
That's just one of the things
well,
you
at least
gotta
they
believe.
cleaned that up.
Well,
They made that
realized
clear
it
enough then.
Yes.
Because I do remember even watching this thinking like, okay, but like shouldn't Sunnydale be dark too? Like if we're doing this, but
No, it's just like a hand over.
just like
Everybody in Southern California knows LA really is just its own thing. What happens in LA happens in LA.
That's fair. So the beast is dead, and Faith, because Faith knows at this point she probably cannot take on Angelus. She just uses the chain to save herself and bring in the sunlight, and he has to like scramble
So
away.
I didn't know that was going to happen. And when he's like making fun of her for like it missing him, I was like, oh no.
Oh, it pissed
so
me
I thought
off.
that actually was a really good. I thought it was a really good
thing,
like
yeah.
moment. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it shows like she's more than just
The
fight.
Slayer
Like, she's
intellect
smart.
is
Yeah.
there. Yes.
She
Yeah, I
does
don't know
leave
that I
her
would've-
looking, but she's also smart. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know that I would have thought of that because I would have just been like, oh, my back hurts. Like, beaten up.
Curses.
Yeah.
You got me.
I'm texting one of you three being like, oh my God, guys. You'll never
Texting
believe what
Wesley.
happened.
Wesley's like, hey, man, it didn't go as planned.
Little beat up. We see the gang celebrating. That's when Cordelia is even like, oh, you're into a Slayer. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then we get what big reveal at the end, Kim?
That Cordelia is pregnant with Connor's son? Question mark.
They cut long shots of her tummy, too.
We did. Ugh. It's so bad. It's so bad and so stupid.
And
They do like
kissing-
such. They do like such a pregnancy sort of thing, like even earlier in the episode when she just passes out and then they put her on bed rest because she's on bed rest like now throughout, right?
Yep.
She's kind of
Come
on her
on now.
own bed rest though. She's like hiding up there because she doesn't want people to know she's pregnant.
But it's also
Sure.
like clear that actor, it's like, oh, this is because
Oh,
Was
yeah,
she?
yeah.
Did we know? Was she on bed rest?
Oh, I mean,
The
I don't know,
actress?
but I would imagine it's hard to like. They do a lot of standing around.
Sure, but
or
she
running.
could have done a little bit of like I don't know. That's my question because if she was on bed rest, that makes sense, right? But if they just didn't know what to do with a pregnant actress, and
That's
like
right.
so they're
Depends
like,
on how far along in her pregnancy she was. She probably wasn't
Yeah.
on bed rest. That's pretty like that doesn't happen so often, and I imagine she wouldn't want to act at that point if she were.
mhm.
But if she were in her, I don't know, like third trimester's the worst. She doesn't look like she's in third trimester
So
necessarily, but they
basically,
could
they
have done a
didn't
good
know
job
what to
hiding
do
it.
with her, and they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, well, in her delicate condition, she passes
Then
out, and we got to
Or
put her in
maybe
the bedroom."
she's like, just give me less to do. Like that could have been
Uh-huh.
something that they like bargained
also
for. She's
fair.
like, I'll stay in this. You can
Yeah.
rewrite it now that I'm pregnant,
Mhm.
but like, I'm happy to do a little less. I don't know.
hours, yeah, because the hours were intense on these shows, like
Yeah.
incredibly intense. So my last line is gross, underlined a whole bunch of times.
My last line is oof. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, mine is ugh in parentheses.
We're all having a great time.
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
hate Connor so much.
I do too.
Like I just hate him so much.
Yeah, I hate him so much too, but it's such a gross dynamic, right? It's such an abusive dynamic. Like setting aside our feelings about Connor,
Right.
this is a deeply traumatized teenager. And I know in context of the show, Cordy is in her early 20s, but she does not look like she's in her early 20s. She is a full-grown
That
ass
is
woman.
adult. Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like it's gross. It's uncomfortable to see. And also, again, like, why did Jasmine need Connor on her side?
Again, I
The
can
son
read
of
you the
Angel.
summary of season 4.
Like, it
they
really-
didn't know either. They didn't
Yeah.
know either. They figuring it out as we go, and
I really think that's like one of the biggest like reasons why it's obviously did not always have like, oh, we just rewrote the pregnancy. Like sure, maybe the bones of like, oh, Cordelia will be possessed. Maybe that had been there, but I just don't, none of it adds up. None of it like like you said, Kiersten, if like it was like, oh, we just created chaos, that would make sense. But like that's not. I don't know. Yeah, or maybe someone will tell me I'm wrong. I don't know.
And then Jasmine comes out, she's so basically all powerful. Like, and yeah, Connor is on her side, and he stays on her side. And that is actually one of the few things that I liked about that storyline is when everybody can see who Jasmine really is, and Connor's like, I always could. She's my daughter. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, but I mean, she's evil, but like, good for you. But yeah, it I don't know. It just, like I said, it's messy. And it does such damaging things to characters that we love.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. It's a tricky narrative. It's a tricky storyline.
So Jasmine's his daughter.
Yeah.
But Jasmine is also Cordelia while she's in the womb.
She just birthed herself.
Is making out with her daddy?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
I didn't even think about that part. Yeah. That's another gross layer to the grossness.
I don't think they thought about it either.
Okay, so I've been here trying to tie this in my head to weirdly something Lila says earlier in the episode that was sort of like a whoa moment for me. Okay, so she's talking to Wes and she says,
teach us, Professor Southwick.
She says, we're the ones he wants to hurt, the people closest to Angel. So speaking of Angelus.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that isn't Lila. Anyway, somebody says that when they're around Lila's body at the very least. And that is the most like, that's textbook abuse.
Yeah,
right?
That was
like,
Cordelia, I think, who said it.
Yeah. Okay, so then Jasmine says that. So I mean, that's just like revelatory in some ways that I can't actually put together, right? So if Jasmine is the one saying that, then she's aware of like, I just want this to be about like abuse in some way, because I feel like you can't say that line and have it not, I guess you can say that line and have it not connect, but like, I don't know, that really struck me, and I wanted it to make more sense.
If the intention of that had been there, I think it would have worked a lot better, right? But it doesn't feel like that was even the intention. It just felt like they were kind of just, I don't know,
So
sprinkling,
Joss,
trying to create magic.
Joss, as an abuser, doesn't realize that he's writing this line about an abuser, probably, is what you're saying, which also does connect things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Great.
I buy that. Mm.
Yeah. I think your line just now, I wanted it to make more sense. You just summed it. Because there are great elements, right? Like the Beast is awesome. The whole concept of blotting out the sun, and Angelus is always fun, and he can do fun things because like he's evil, and Faith is great, and we see Wes in his darkest form, which is always interesting. The others didn't have a lot to do, but that's okay. There's a lot of good elements here, and that's how I feel about Angel as a whole. Is there are a lot of good elements, a lot of really fun things. But for me, it just never quite hit the way that Buffy did. And like my headcanon, my personal opinion is that actually this part of the show Angel never happened. Angel ends on the episode where Angel and Cordy are lying on the bed with baby Connor between them, and everything is happy and hopeful. And that is his redemption, right? That he gets this chance to create life and to guide and nurture that life and protect it. So everything that comes after, I guess, is just fan fiction. So it's okay. And it's a little bit
It was a dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream.
They fell asleep, and this was the dream.
And it really messed up dreams. But sometimes we have messed up dreams where we're our own daughter making out with the baby daddy.
I don't think we're not intended to say that out loud. I don't believe.
I don't think so. But very loosely related. I actually had a dream that Zach, you and I went to a Comic-Con and met Sarah Michelle Gellar. But like Kim, you sometimes were there and sometimes were not. And we were like trying to get her to take a selfie with us. You took one and it wasn't good. She didn't like it. She was like, "Oh, let me see," and she didn't like it. And then like someone, it's a con, but also it's a dream. Someone was like, "Oh, you have to go. You have to be on stage." And so she left with my phone. And my whole dream was like, oh my God, Sarah Michelle Gellar stole my phone. And I didn't know what to do about it. And Zach, you were kind of like, yeah, but it's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Let her have your phone. What is the question?
Most realistic part of the dream, because that is what Zach would say. And I would feel the same. I'd be like, listen,
And
Sarah
also,
Michelle
if I
Gellar
have
stole
your
your
Find
phone.
My iPhone, so like I've got her location now. I know where Sarah is
True, you do
going.
have.
Sometimes I look at where you are.
Sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh, who can see where I am?
Do you have my location?
No. Are you
I don't
kidding?
generally share my
I wouldn't
location.
say-
I just
I
get
would-
other people's locations.
Well,
That's
I
kind of
did
how that
that
works.
because if y'all remember when I left my phone in that lift and he's the
Ah,
only
that is
person I
what.
shared my location with was my ex-boyfriend, and he was on a date, and I had to be like, you got to stay on the phone with me. I'm sorry. I got to get my iPhone. So I think I share it with Zach. Maybe all three of you, but definitely Zach, and I think you
In
can.
case it happens again.
I don't even know how to do that. So
And, well,
if you do share it with me, I have no idea.
If you would like to share your location with me as well, Kim, I am okay with it.
I think
All
I
right,
shared it
keep
with
that in
everyone in our.
I'm going to put a link in the comment section of this video where you can share your locations with Zach, not with the rest of
Yes,
them.
yes.
We don't
And it's to
care.
keep you
Zach.
safe.
And if you
Yes.
want me to share my location with you, I will share.
Great.
I know, but I do agree with what you were saying, Kiersten. I see a lot of really good stuff in this,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think that one of my favorite like storytelling, is when we have a character who is like a baddie, or like there is something coming and the audience knows it. We're watching it. They've revealed it to us, but the characters in the show don't know it, right?
Yes.
Like, I find that so thrilling. And that could really work while they have everybody focused on Angelus, not
Yeah.
knowing that there's this other secret baddie behind the scenes, but it's just not.
It's not
It's
there.
it's
yeah.
just it's not fleshed out. It's in a weird way. We can't really like pick up what this is supposed to be,
Is
and
the
it's not.
hotel so
Yeah.
big that she can just like escape to go make out with the beast, that they don't like
Nobody
go
ever
check on
stays
her?
there. They've got
Does
rooms
Connor
upon
know
rooms
she's
upon
bad?
rooms.
No.
Oh, sorry.
It's just questions that they don't exactly reveal either. It's not like they've set it up to slowly reveal it to us. They just didn't get it.
You know, I'm gonna feel real dumb when we get to the
Sneaking out the
Jasmine arc
window?
and she lays out every single detail, and I'm like, oh, it was explained.
I'll take it
That's
all
why I
back.
don't hate this show.
But Kim, you and I like the show, but
I do.
I feel like, but we still can agree with what they're saying, right?
I
Like,
hate
do-
Connor.
Yeah,
Like,
Like-
and he just brings everything to this. Yeah, like sure, like the plot stuff. I feel like I can get over the plot stuff if I'm not making so much sense, if I enjoy watching the show. But I just hate Connor so much.
Yeah.
and
I think that's a problem I have with the show in general. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
I think I love Buffy so much because I truly root for like all of them. Like, even if I'm like really annoyed with people in that show, I do find myself rooting for them at least once, right? I don't really care about anybody in the show. Like, even when Cordy crosses over, after like the first or second season, I don't care what they do over in LA Land, you know? And I feel bad, but like, you know, I don't know. They have so much more heart, I feel like, in Buffy than they have in the
I
show.
have another question.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt again. Do we think that the writers are trying to appeal to like basic, like small, like largest common denominator, like straight white man?
Yes.
yes,
And
so
that's why Connor's so bad? And why
I-
Angel annoys us sometimes?
I don't know if I've said this before, and no offense to any straight men that listen to this podcast. I've learned there are a few.
Are there?
Yeah,
Oh.
I recently learned that someone that does engage with I like was assuming queer because, and they were like, well, it's a straight guy, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
How does that work?
We
I-
appreciate you, straight man listener.
We do. I often
Truly.
think that people say Angel is the more mature show because it is so male focused, and I feel like people don't take like the feminine like focus seriously. That's
Mhm.
like
Hey, can I tell you, if you are a woman and you write novels that center women's experiences and feelings, it does not matter how old those characters are, how mature the themes are, what happens, you will get many reviews that say, I don't know, this just kind of felt like YA to me. And you're like, that's because you do not take women's feelings. And if anything centers a woman, you inherently cannot take it seriously and you have to diminish and devalue it.
Mhm.
Anyway,
as I was saying that, Kiersten, I was like, I think Kiersten has said this to me about writing before.
yes.
Fuck the patriarchy. That's what I have to say. That's my.
I'm fucking jealous. And Angel and Connor.
The second time you've said that to me today, Kim, and it's only 4 p.m.
There's still time.
And I like Angel, but I do think that's often why it gets like considered the more mature because of that. And I just think it's like, I just don't think that's true. Buffy can be, yes, Buffy is campier and has more jokes, but it still
Buffy is about a young adult. This man should be mature, right?
Right.
Like, come on.
Buffy also, like, the storytelling was still taken seriously while being campy and silly. And like, in the world of fantasy with monsters and demons, usually pretty much made sense. Like, you could be like, okay, Glory's both Ben and Glory, sure. You know, like and the storytelling here is not.
Yeah, Angel just always lacked the emotional resonance of Buffy, for me personally.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, lots of good elements, actors and characters that I really like, some incredible standout episodes. But yeah, it wasn't my thing and remains not my thing.
It is weird that, like, because I mean, I do agree that the stories work, but like Faith's whole arc almost takes place on Angel. Or at least her whole redemption arc does.
Yeah.
And it's weird that they did do that well, but like not a lot of other things.
It's just like continue that at the end, right? Like you obviously, when you brought her over, understood the assignment.
Yeah.
And it was done incredibly well. But then if she's not around, you can't really continue that. You know?
I think the issue too also becomes long-term storytelling. Like that was the problem with Fred. Like, right, her introduction was interesting and they sort of found a role for her, but then there was nothing else for her to do or her to grow into. Also, the problem with Xander on Buffy, right? Is like how do you continue these characters? How do you continue telling interesting stories with them and like always having to sort of build on making things bigger, making things more intense, whatever. And they ran out of things for Fred. And whether that's a characterization problem, whether that's a writing problem, whatever. It is what it is. But that is why bringing in these characters and having really limited arcs with them, you can do more interesting, compelling things because it's contained. It's self-contained. And you don't have to keep figuring out ways to create new problems and create new drama with them. And like any problem that you solve then is a plot or a tension that you no longer have. It is really hard to write long-running things. And I fully acknowledge that. And I think a lot of the issues that we see with Angel are just because it is hard to sustain tension and drama and plot lines over this many episodes.
I wonder too if it's because we have characters who are women whose only plot is like them falling in love with men a lot of times on Angel rather than giving them like something else to care about. Yeah. And they just, for whatever reason, even though they wrote strong female badass characters, I guess we've got them falling in love with men on Buffy too. But like, it just doesn't, the only good relationship is Cordy and Angel, and they destroy that for some reason.
Yeah.
And so then there's no chemistry between anyone else that I remember on the show besides that, and yet they still keep trying to like make like romance happen when they should give these women something else to do.
I also think not only with Fred, but I think like, okay, Gunn can kind of fight, but he's still a human. So like when we're fighting the Beast and it's Angel and co, and it's like, well, all of them are gonna die because no one here is strong. Like Lorne maybe would be stronger, I guess, because he's a demon, but we don't see that.
Well, and every time I come on here, right, I've seen 2 full seasons. I've seen a lot of these episodes. I know I have. I remember watching them. I just as we're revisiting now and I'm being dropped in, it's always these like bigger centered episodes where, the gang is supposed to get together and come up with a plan, but they never come up with a fucking plan. So why aren't the humans who don't have these magical abilities plotting and scheming and coming up with some really good fucking plans, right? Like, why can't we see that?
I don't know. Wes's plan to get Faith was pretty good.
Yeah. So Wes
for the television show, I don't know actually how it was good for the long run of the arc, but I did.
No. You're right. And Wes, they also can't land on what they want Wes to be. I think I like this version of him, but he is a watcher, and they don't really have. We see that with Giles, where like he knows a lot about a lot of things. He might not be an expert in all of them, but he knows a lot of things. And it feels like once we got Badass Wes, it's like he lost all of his watcherness.
Yeah.
Maybe you can only be that smart if you're not a hot badass. But Giles is a hot badass.
But to your point, Kiersten, about long form storytelling, honestly, that started to become my issue with comic books because it was like these characters have 50 years of lore, and like even X-Men, which is like a very clear allegory for being othered, people don't get it. And that's why people were mad at X-Men 97 and be like, oh, they made it woke. And it's like, that is the whole point of X-Men, you dum-dum. Like, I don't know how you miss that. But also, like, people will get mad. Well, this character did this in an issue in 1995. And it's like, yeah, that was like 800 writers ago. So, like, I don't know. And like, whenever people talk about like, well, this character would be able to do this. And I'm like, it really just depends on who's writing them. That's what it depends on. I don't know. I like that started to be, they did like a whole new era with X-Men where that was when I gave up, called the Krakoa era. And it actually was like really popular. I did not like it because everyone felt so different than the characters I loved in the comic books. It was like the X-Men got their own island where all mutants lived and it was like a paradise. They couldn't die. There was a thing that brought them back to life. And it just like didn't work because then the metaphor fell apart and they didn't feel like characters I like knew and loved. So I literally
you're describing the Descendants series. Has anyone else had the unfortunate has anyone else ever watched that? Because it's yeah. Because there's like they put all the villains on an island. It's literally the worst thing I've ever seen. So that's what I'm thinking of when you're talking about this X-Men series that you don't like.
Kiersten, are your kids too old to have watched that, or did they watch them?
Plus singing.
My youngest is not too old, but he was not into it. So
you were very lucky. You were so lucky.
My sister was like into the start of it and then grew out of it, I guess.
It's some of the worst music that I'm forced to listen to.
You know what's funny is I see we are older, but there's a lot of like Zach, your age and a little bit younger, gay men online that I like loved it because it was around when they were kids, and we'll talk about how much like nostalgia they have for it, and I'm like, oh, it even looks stupid. Like when I watched
I showed you. I made you watch it. Remember? I made you watch like the opening scene of the first movie, and I was like, look how poorly produced this is. Like, this is Disney. You have all the money in the world, and you are going to let a movie, I don't care if it's a made-for-TV movie,
Channel
look
movies.
like that.
Like, Disney Channel movies weren't often, you know.
Look so bad. And the music is so bad.
Like you were saying, Ian, for the younger people, the nostalgia factor is huge because there are movies that we saw that we love and we still love, and they're not great. And like that's kind of what I wonder as I'm watching Angel, and I'm just like, everything in Buffy was better, the acting was better, the storylines are better, and then I'm like, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I just have so much nostalgia for Buffy that I don't have for Angel that it just doesn't hit the same for me. But
I think it was better, and there's a reason that Buffy is getting the revival and Angel is not, right? Yeah. Like you're doing a podcast on Angel right now, and your listeners know Angel already, right? But I don't see a bunch of new Angel fans popping up on like TikTok and stuff like that. But you always get a Buffy reference. Yeah. Yes.
But to be fair, I do feel like that is just like the peril of being a spinoff. Sometimes a spinoff. Wasn't like Cheers an actual spinoff of something? Wasn't like or something like that? I know there have been like
was a spinoff of Cheers,
right? Frasier, and like Frasier is popular on its own, right? Like, and I feel like sitcoms sometimes that happen, but not a lot of times with like a genre show. Star Trek, but they usually weren't at the same time.
Those aren't spinoffs necessarily. I feel like those are just like different.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like the reason people wouldn't be coming to it first because Buffy came first. So I feel like it's like, but then they go to Angel.
So you hate Buffy. Just say it plainly, and okay.
I was going to say. By
the way, when is that announcement coming? Is it coming on her birthday? Is it going to get like a full pickup on her birthday, maybe on Buffy's birthday? Because that's coming up next, right?
There's been a fan-made poster that went around the first time it was announced that is going around again.
I saw that.
So many people have sent me, and I'm like,
real.
It's not real, I promise. Like, I saw this was circulating 5 months ago. It's still not real.
If the apocalypse comes, text me.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a cute fan-made poster, but it is.
It's a good one. It is a good one. Yeah.
Anyway, some trivia. Oh, there's no trivia for this episode. I forgot. I was looking it up, and they're like, it's just like, oh, this continued.
That's right. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about X-Men. We talked about Descendants.
We did.
We're good.
Favorite. I think we're probably all gonna have the same favorite outfit. Kim.
Obviously, Faith's outfit after she changes out of her prison clothes in the backseat of Wesley's car.
Yeah. Kiersten?
My favorite outfit was Faith's prison outfit because I'm like, you know what?
I'll agree with that. I liked her prison outfit.
A very well fitted tank top.
I like the tank.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
She does look good in those tank tops. Zach, is that yours too?
Yes, that's mine. Yeah. Any outfit that's got the tat like on full display, I'm all about it.
I love that it's the cheesiest tattoo in the world. It's so right for her character.
It really is.
A 16-year-old Faith absolutely would have gotten that tattoo.
I mean, like, I feel like, Kim, we were friends with people that had tattoos like that, the like silly tribal tattoos.
I think my dad has a tattoo like that.
I'm gonna be on Kim's side. I love when they started putting them in denim jackets, and this is like this and
her boobs look great in that purple shirt.
As Kiersten said, they probably got her a really great bra. Favorite scene, Zach?
All Faith scenes. One long Faith scene.
Fair. All right, Kim.
I'm gonna go with Prison Break.
All right. Kiersten?
Prison Break too. It was just so funny.
You know, I had 2 answers, but now I want to do 3 because I do like the Prison Break as well. I said every scene where Faith puts Connor in his place and Faith's big fight scene with Angelus and the Beast. But then also I do like the prison. As Zach said, all the
fight with her in the yard is like exceptionally good.
Yeah, that's good too.
I kind of like that one more.
I always like, that's like a thing I get a kick out of with Buffy too, how often it's like, this person is like such a 0.0 threat to this woman, and they're just like, boop, you're done. Yeah. What comes to mind is Buffy in season 5 when Joel Grey approaches her on the tower and she's just like, nope, and pushes him right off the edge. What grade do we give this episode, Kiersten?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna grade it on pass fail.
Okay.
Because I can't submit it for a letter grade because I did not attend the entire semester.
Fair.
I'm going to say pass. I'm going to give it a pass. Great. There were some great elements there. There were some fun scenes. And I feel like I cannot accurately judge the rest because I have not fully immersed myself. So
I love when I can see you being so polite and I can see.
Please don't come after me on social media. I promise. All your opinions are also my opinions.
Because then Kiersten will be nice about it and I will be very mean about it. Kim?
I am judging this episode alone.
Okay.
Outside of the rest of season 4, and I'm going to give it a B+.
Okay.
Very specifically, just this episode.
Okay, that's fair. Zach?
I think just like a solid B, and it is because of Faith. Faith does the entire thing. I zoned out a little too much when she was not on screen, but when she was on screen, I was completely engaged, and she alone.
I give it a B+ as well. Again, just grading this episode on its own, because the arc I would definitely give a higher grade to.
And the season a lower grade.
Yeah, yes, this arc. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I give my grades with where it fits in the season in mind, and I just didn't want to do that with this.
This season, I think I've been the harshest grader usually on every episode. I think this is the first time I was not. I think I've been C across the board.
With all of these things that I come on for, I kind of just throw a grade out there. There's not really any basis for any of the grades.
There is a very... There's a rubric we use.
I'm not a teacher.
Some fan needs to go through and make a graph of all the grades that each of us give the episodes, not a PowerPoint, an Excel spreadsheet, and I want to see that. I don't have time for it.
I think this was before you were on, Zach, but Kiersten, I think you were. Do you guys remember when there was someone that made a spreadsheet
yes,
all the things we said a lot?
Amazing.
Because I said I have a master's degree so many fucking times.
Well, if you're listening, person who made the said a lot spreadsheet, I want a grade spreadsheet.
I just remember looking at that being like, oh, I do repeat myself a lot, don't I?
And mine's probably, as a writer, oh God.
I am tickled to have the 3 of you together. I feel like this never gets to happen. This makes me so happy. Thank you all for humoring me. I appreciate it. I have very good best friends. If you like Slayerfest 98, you can find us on all social media platforms at SlayerFestX98. If you want to follow me, I'm at Ian X Carlos. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else you get your podcasts, or watch our video recording and see our pretty faces on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, give us a good rating. It really helps the podcast out. If you want to support us, we have a Patreon where we're going through every episode of Buffy as it turns 25. We're at this point, I think, halfway through season 5. And we go through X-Men the Animated Series, Batman the Animated Series. We have Zoom Hangouts, etc., etc. Kim, where can everyone find you?
I'm at Kim and Joe South on Blue Sky, where I tweet a lot about Philadelphia Eagles football on Sundays, but I'm otherwise a normal person. And Kimberly and Southwick.com for other stuff.
I never know less about what you're talking about than when you're talking about sports. Zach, where can everyone find you?
Oh, goodness. If you find my iPhone, if you had my location, you'd find me at the movies watching Hamnet once again, because it's a beautiful movie. But online, if you search Zachary, Patton, Garcia, you can find me. Yeah, and I have a podcast with Ian here, My Bloody Judy. You can search that as well, and you'll find us. So,
and Zach also has a Patreon.
Sure, yes.
Kiersten, where can everyone find you and your books?
You can find my books at your local independent bookstore or Barnes & Noble or the website that I don't like to name drop. You can also find me on social media at author Kiersten White on Instagram and Threads, or my website, kierstenwhite.com, that is guaranteed to only ever be 2 years out of date.
Slayerfest's website is like nothing.
You have a website?
Yeah. I've never populated it. All right, everybody.
Can I just wait? Can
what?
I just like signal boost Kiersten your middle grade series, because I read the whole thing and I loved it so much. I got it from the library, and my friend's kid read it too and they loved it too.
That's my
the Sinister Summer series. Yeah, if anyone has kids that are like not yet YA age, you should totally buy your kids those books.
I'm always so
Sorry.
proud to know you. When we walk through like a Barnes & Noble and I see like a whole Kiersten White section, me and my husband always like stop, and we have a lot of pictures of the Kiersten White section on our phones.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ian. It just felt important.
Yeah.
No, Zach and I were just talking the other day how like, Kiersten, you are like the person I feel like anytime I'm in a bookstore, I'm like, oh, there's my friend. Like I always see you. It makes me happy. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for listening. I'm excited to get to the rest of this Faith arc, but not the rest of this season. We will see you next time. Bye.